What is up YouTube, welcome back to the AlphaFX Academy. In the first half of the video we're going to talk about what happened last week on the gold USD spot market, what was the effect of the NFP and why did gold fall almost 500 pips. In the second half of the video it's really important that you pay attention because I'm going to tell you what to expect in the coming weeks, how to trade it and what to do. Stay tuned, it's coming. So let's start the analysis by recapping what happened last week on the gold USD spot market. Now if you go back and check the video which I uploaded exactly 6 days ago, you can see that when the price was hovering around 1818, I uploaded a video and I said the price would break through this descending channel top trend line and fall down all the way to 1771. So fast forward a few days later, when NFP happened, on that day I sent out this, and actually a few days before I sent out this analysis, so when the price broke through this support line and started to move sideways a little bit, and it was hovering around 1814, 1815, I sent out this analysis to the AlphaFX members group that the price would fall from 1814 all the way down to 1771. So let's see what happened after I sent out the analysis. You can see that price did reach 1771, but after that it broke through my buy limit and actually went all the way down to 1760, 1758. Made a few rookie mistakes last week. I'm going to tell you exactly what I did, so hopefully you can learn from it. So the first one was I didn't follow the plan which I highlighted and uploaded to YouTube. And what happened is I started to sell at 1814. And as soon as the price hit 1794, you can see that previously it acted as a really strong support and resistance. And when price hit 1794, it pulled back a little bit. You can see this blue candle. So what I did is I closed down all my sell positions because I thought the price would come back. That was just right before NFP. I closed in profit, but what happened after was a really stupid, silly mistake. So I had buy limit at 1781, 1771. I actually had 3 or 4 positions, 3 or 4 buy limits, and it was, silly mistake because what price did is it activated all of my buy limits. You can see that price really aggressively went down to 1771, so it hit 3 or 4 of my buy limits, but then straight went to my stop loss. So all the gains I made from the sell from 1814 to 1794 was wiped out.
Шоколад, я тоже може хочу шоколад, блін. Задумала, блін, мені дуже шоколад. Я дуже хочу шоколад.
And what happened after is I was on the go and didn't check my trades, but when I stopped for a coffee, I suddenly realized like, oh shit, it actually hit all my stop losses. So luckily, what happened is that gold found some kind of support at 1758. So what I did is I re-entered into 2 or 3 positions. So lesson learned, what I wanted to say to you guys is if you do an analysis, always stick to it. Trust your analysis. There is no loss, there is no, lost money. It's only learning from your previous mistakes. And trust me, if you stick to your analysis, do not listen to anyone else. Take into consideration and absorb as much information as possible from other traders, other analysis channels, but at the end of the day, always make your own bias, your analysis, and always trust it and follow the plan. That's the best in the longer term if you listen to yourself. So let's jump straight into the forecast, guys. So what I can see on the gold USD spot market next week is that the price currently hovering around 1764, and if you use the Fibonacci on the daily time frame, put it from swing low to swing high. By the way, Fibonacci retracement is my favorite tool because it's really accurate. So going back, if you put the Fibonacci retracement tool from swing low to swing high, you can see that the price is currently hovering around 1761. I had 3 or 4 open positions from 1758 because I have to make up the losses I made from the silly buy limits. So if you can see on the chart that the price didn't really respect the Fibonacci 61.80, but because we are in the daily time frame, I really have high hopes that the price is going to be bouncing back either from the 61.80 or the 78.60, because the Fibonacci retracement tool, we have two well-proven, well-known entry levels, the 61.80 and the 78.60. The first one is the 61.80. If the price doesn't respect, then it's going to fall down to the 78.60, and so on, so on, so on. So even if the 61.80 fails, we still have a second entry, the 78.60, which is at 17.29. So I would advise, if the price doesn't respect the 61.80 at 1769, and if it goes all the way down to 1730, then watch price action on a smaller time frame. But even though the price, didn't really respect the 61.80, it could be simply just the NFP effect. And what it means is that even though the actual numbers of the employment statistics of the non-farm payroll was in line with the prediction, the bears went full-blown and pushed the price just below the 61.80. And is it a problem? Absolutely not, because such an important news as the NFP in times of uncertainty after the pandemic, it's really important, and price could spill over. So we still have hopes that the price is going to bounce back from 1758 and it's gonna go higher and higher. But what I was really surprised is that when the NFP number came out, it was really in line with the consensus, with the forecast. So around 700,000 or 900,000, can't remember, jobs were created, which was exactly in line with the forecast. And what it means is that the NFP, if the NFP is positive or if in line with the forecast, that is actually good news for the dollar. So the dollar should go up. And because the gold is denominated in US dollar, it means that it becomes more expensive for investors. So the more expensive dollar should push down the gold price. And simply because of that, if you look at a bunch of countries, if one of the countries is doing better, where would investors put their money? Of course, they would bet on the winner, which in this case is the United States of America. And if the dollar goes up, then the gold goes down. But in the longer term, guys, you have to remember that if the US economy is doing well, the Fed isn't going to increase interest rates straight away. They're going to wait 6, 12, 18, 24 months, because the the inflation effect must trickle down into the economy. And they're not going to do anything in the short term because they're waiting out to see how the rate of inflation is changing. So what's going to happen in the coming weeks and coming months, guys, is that even though the gold price dropped, it's going to reverse, and I tell you why. Because if the United States of America economy is doing really well, all the consumers, all the workers are going to spend their hard-earned money, which is going to cause more inflationary pressures, which is going to push up gold price. So you see how the economy is working, and you can make correlation between one thing and another. So the USD price gone up, which pushed down the gold price. But this is only a short-term effect, because in the longer term, inflation is going to stay with us. It's the rate of change which may or may not going to change. But in general, inflation is going to stay with us, and if it's staying with us, even though it's staying with us with 1 or 2 years, the Fed isn't going to react straight away, because in the last statement, Jerome Powell actually said that they're going to consider increasing interest rates in late 2022 or early 2023. So which means we have still 1 or 2 years of high inflation, or the current inflation, if there is no change in the rate of inflation. So if the inflation is going to stay with us, that means it's good for gold price. So what you have to do next week or the coming weeks is that you follow the price action at these levels. So let's go down into the 1 hour time frame and see what's happening right now. Okay, let me delete this because this was a shame. So you can see that the price currently found support at the 1759, and you can see that the price bounced back and currently retesting. Now let's go down to an even lower time frame at the 15-minute. So here's what you need to do and how to trade gold in the coming weeks. So the first thing you need to do is a solid support, which the price currently found at 1758. The next thing you want to do, or next thing you want to look out for or wait for, is bullish price action, which if we use this drawing tool, you can see that what we're looking for is that the price to create higher highs and higher lows. So if I just redraw this, So we currently have one low, one high. We have a higher low, which is a really good news. And what we have to wait for is the price to create a new higher high. And then the price probably would come back down to retest 1759. So it would look like it creating a lower low, but actually if you study my course, you can see that this is a bullish pattern, and it could be expected that the price would retest, you know, this level at 1759, because so many people placing their stop losses just below the 1760 area, which was the previous lower higher low. So what I would expect is the price to create, you know, bullish momentum in terms of higher highs and higher lows, and continue this all the way to, you know, higher numbers. Second thing you want to do after you have the bullish market structure is some kind of trend line, because trend is your friend. So what you have to do is obviously use a trend line tool, put it out. Even if the trend line breaks, it's not a problem, because what we're looking for is market structure. Trend lines are there to be broken, but what we're looking for is market structure. So if the price, you know, wicks down to 1760, but if the 4-hour candles close just above the previous higher low and creating a new higher low, that's good for us, because you can see that we have the bullish market structure. We have a trend line break, but what's good that we can draw as many trend lines as possible, or as many as we want. So even if the first trend line breaks, we can draw the second one. And what's really important is the bullish market structure. And if you have these two things, the next thing you want to do is use the Fibonacci tool, put it from swing low to swing high, because you can use the Fibonacci retracement on the lower time frames as well. So you put it from swing low to swing high, and what you have to look for is the price to respect the 61.80 or the 78.60. So once you have these 2, 3 or 4 confirmations, and if you use indicator or any other kind of strategy, that is a buy signal. So I'm really hoping that the price is going to respect 1758, and if it doesn't respect the 1758, what you have to do is look for the other levels which we marked on the daily time frame. So the first one is 1758, 1759. You can place the stop loss, you know, well below the previous lows, and the second entry level, if the price doesn't respect the 61.80, is sitting at 1730, 1729. And all you have to do is follow the same strategy I explained, which is simple price action on a lower time frame. The first thing you have to do is find the support and resistance, or the possible entry level on a higher time frame, and then go down into a lower time frame, and if price reaches those previously marked support and resistance or possible entry levels, whether it's Fibonacci or other strategy you use, you have to go down into a lower time frame and watch price action. If the price creating bullish market structure on the M15 or M30, creating high highs and high lows, creating bullish trend line, bullish market structure, creating a bullish pattern, that is a signal to enter into a buy. We haven't finished yet, guys, because I have an announcement to make. So if you go to my website, which is alphafx.eu, I have currently a 50% discount running until, you know, middle of next week. So currently there's 50% off on all of the courses, basic, pro and premium, and also the gold scalping. So if you want to take advantage of the 50% discount and become one of the members of the AlphaFX family, all you have to do is go to alphafx.eu, enter the promo code SUMMER50 after you selected the plan you want, and then become the alpha. I hope you enjoyed the video this week, guys. If you get any value of the video, please consider subscribing to the channel, hit the like button and leave a comment below. This is the AlphaFX.